I just came back from my run and I thought let me make a video about why your glutes are not growing, whether you're training them in the gym or at home. So let's just get to it. But let me have some break. So I am having my belly for breakfast. I'll share a video. I'll share a picture. I'm having my belly for breakfast. Let's get to this. Hello Fitbuddies, welcome back to my channel. Like I said, I want to talk about why your glutes are not growing, whether you're working out at the gym or at home. So I have a few pointers about this and I hope this video won't be too long. But the first things first that you must know is that you are not eating enough. And I think one of the reasons why people tend not to eat, the reason why people tend not to eat enough is because typically when people start working out and going to the gym or working out at home and stuff like that, want to eat less because they want to lose weight. Whereas it's actually the opposite. Whether you want to lose weight or you want to gain glutes or you want to have a smaller waist or whatever the case may be, you have to eat right. And what do I mean by you have to eat right? Basically, you have to follow a balanced diet. I personally don't believe in diets. So what I did when I started working out, I remember in 2017, I basically cleaned out my fridge of sauces. I mean, it wasn't a lot of things that I cleaned out, but I just stopped adding sauces to my food, like tomato sauce, mayonnaise, those Nando sauces, steer sauces. That's like one of the few things that I started clearing out just so I can have a more clean diet. You have to eat right, you have to eat clean. So eating clean means that you cook at home, right? You cook all your foods, you add vegetables to your meals, you add protein to your meals, and you drink enough water. So sometimes the problem might be snacking. So as much as you might be eating cooked food at home, you'd find that you actually snack with a lot of junk like chips, biscuits, juice, those diet soft drinks that people normally have. That's what we mean by when we say you must eat clean. It means those things don't apply. But then also, because you need to have a balance, it doesn't mean that you cut them off completely. It just means you do everything in moderation while focusing on healthy eating. So with healthy eating, I'll just make a few examples. Maybe it's your eggs, it's your chicken, it's your beef, it's your vegetables, cabbage, spinach, beans, chicken livers, whatever the case may be. So you cook all of that at home. And for starch, other people like to cut out starch. There's no need for that. At least that's what I think personally, because that's what has worked for me over the years. I never felt like I had to cut off starch or go on keto or go on this or this. I don't recommend that because that is all part of restricting yourself. And once you restrict yourself, you're gonna want more of those things that you've restricted yourself from eating. So starch, your brown rice, your white rice, ipapa, ujeqe, dombolo. Again, moderation and portion control. So you have to eat if you want to grow your glutes. Two would be that you're not eating enough protein. As much as it is a very good thing to maybe follow a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet or whatever the case may be, you need protein for you to build muscle. That's just how your body works. The more protein you have, is you're gonna gain more muscle, and glutes are muscle. You need muscle to build your glutes and to shape it to the size or to the shape that you want. So again, protein. I know that beans have proteins. I know that lentils have protein. I know that vegetables have protein and stuff like that. But things like chicken, a lot of gym rats believe in eating chicken breasts. That's like one of the best sources of protein and the cheapest that you can get. So your red meat, again, perfect for protein. I know that beef specifically has a lot of fat in it. So if you're not someone that likes beef, or whatever the case is, you don't think that beef will work for you, pork, because the fat is literally on the outside and not inside the meat muscles, right? So you need to have enough protein in your meals. And you don't only get protein from meats. You can get protein from protein shakes. I do have a couple of videos. I'll link that one here for a video on a shake that I take before I go to the gym and after. So if you make a smoothie or a shake that has banana, peanut butter, milk, and a couple of fruits, that also counts as something that will help you add weight, and that weight will then be turned into your muscles. So another thing that you have to understand is that for you to build muscle, you have to eat, right? And you eat, you gym, and then it turns into muscle. That muscle is the result of whatever body goals that you want to achieve. And a lot of people think that when you say you must gain muscle, then automatically you're gonna look like a man, or you're gonna be too bulky. Or for a woman, it's a whole different thing, because for us to look like men, it means you would have to decrease, then burn the fat. So it's a whole process, and it's not a process that happens overnight to say just because you lift weight and you eat this much, then automatically you are going to have, or you're going to look like a man. It does not work like that. So I'll move on to the next point. You're not sticking to your gym routine long enough. This one is actually, like, it's number one, if I can say that. Most people think changing up their routines every day at the gym, that will help. So if you also don't have a program that you are following, you can't wake up today you're training glutes, it's a Monday, and then Tuesday it's whatever, Wednesday it's upper body, cardio, and whatever, and then the next week it's something completely different. What's important is that you have to stick to a gym routine for 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 4 to 6 at minimum, but you have to do the same things for about 2 months. That's why being a fitness content creator is so boring, because you constantly just showing the same exercises, but that is how you see progress. That is how you see changes on your body. You have to repeat your routine. So you get a program. If you want to grow your glutes, you get a program that you will stick to for 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. First things first, well, after you eat, you must make sure that the exercises you are doing, they target which muscle groups. So for example, most people think doing squats is what grows your glutes, whereas number one, squats are a full body movement. Number two, squats most of the time mainly focus on 2 muscles. They focus on your core muscles and they focus on your quads. So doing squats promotes stronger legs and a more stable core, right? But on the other hand, if your sole focus is to train glutes on that specific day, it means you have to do exercises like Roman deadlifts and hip thrusts, right? So these 2 exercises focus on, again, different muscle groups on your glute. Do you get me? I just forgot the other name. What was it? I think it's the gluteus medius, and the other one I forgot it. The gluteus medius is the top one, so that one is mostly focused on if you're doing hip thrusts, and then if you're doing Roman deadlifts or deadlifts in general, it's the other bottom muscle. So I'll just insect examples here on the screen. That's what you do. Another example of glute exercises that you would have to do if you want to grow your glutes are step ups, weighted step ups. Again, an example, weighted step ups with maybe dumbbells or kettlebells. You might also need to do good mornings on maybe like a Smith machine, or you'd have to do good mornings with a barbell. Now, those 4 exercises solely focus on your glutes. Your squats focus on your core muscles, and they also focus on your quads. So squats are basically one of the primary exercises that we do that prepare you for other exercises and just get your body ready, you know, to be able to perform other movements. And then what's the next point? Okay, so my next point on exercises would be weights. Weights are your best friend. You need to add weights. I think as a beginner at home, the one thing that you can do is to add resistant belts, right? I have resistant belts on my store, but that's a story for another day. So you add resistant belts so that you prepare your muscles to get used to the resistance during an exercise or during a movement of some sort. So as a beginner, I started with using the rubber resistant belts for my squats, for my donkey kicks, and for my hip thrusts. That's what I first did. I first started adding those to my daily smolanyana routine, you know, when I was still trying to build the momentum, because that's another important thing that you do. You first build the momentum, of which it takes you like 4 weeks for your body to get used to that momentum. 4 weeks for your body to get used to the lifestyle of exercising, and then after 4 weeks, then you gradually now see differences. Maybe you'll see that you're stronger in doing a certain exercise. You'll see that you are able to do more reps. You will see that your endurance has improved. So weights, I was rambling. Weights, add weights to your exercises. Heavy weights, again, even there you start small. You start with like 5 kg, you grow. And on the point of growing, as you get more advanced in your fitness journey, you start learning about progressive overload. And that's my next point. Progressive overload is what will help you to see a lot of growth in your muscles, and it'll help you see a lot of growth in your weight loss. Weights are one thing that promote weight loss. I know that to lose weight, you actually have to breathe. Breathing is what makes you burn fat. Breathing burns fat. It's not necessarily sweating that burns fat, or scientifically, that's what they say. The more you breathe is the more fat you burn. So progressive overload is basically you progressively adding weights to your workout or to your exercise. So if you start doing goblet squats, you do goblet squats with a 5 kg, you do 10 reps. And then for the next set, still goblet squats, but this time around you're doing 12 kgs. And then you do the 10 reps. And then for the last set, now you're using 16 kg. That's what progressive overload means. So you start small, and at the end of your workout or at the end of your circuit, you end up with the highest weight that you can handle. Same with squats. You do back squats, so you will start with the free weight bar without any weights, and then you add 10 kgs on each side. You do 10 reps. You add 20, you add maybe 15 kgs on each side. You do 10 reps. That's what progressive overload is. So how do you do progressive overload specifically for glutes? With Roman deadlifts, for example, you would start with stretching. You will start with a free weight bar, no weight, and then you add 5 kgs on each side. You will do your set. After that, you add now 10 kgs on each side.